Welcome to Founders Club, the show for real estate entrepreneurs.
Now you've kind of become famous or well known for the one-page marketing plan and the customer value journey.
Yep.
Can you speak on how you kind of created that and how that fits into the bigger picture of things for you guys?
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of jumped ahead in the story. So 99 made the first sale by 2003, had a really good business, and then about a decade later had a really big business. Well, what happened kind of in between that time was I had a significant business failure.
Okay.
All of my websites and all my model was really centered around SEO, ranking in Google, free traffic from Google.
Yep.
And then in 2006, there was a really significant algorithm shift. And almost overnight, all my sites were wiped.
Just got
from
bumped.
the face of the search engines.
Wow.
Yeah, they were just gone. And I didn't know how to recover. I was a one-trick pony. And so that I began, buying ads. I got to learn this advertising thing now. And right about the time I got, pretty good at it and figured it out, I was also about $250,000 in debt. So it was an expensive learning process.
Wow.
And I just remember the realization that I'm out of cash, bank account wise. I can't get any more loan money. I'd maxed out my credit cards. I'd maxed out my line of credit. You figure in 2006, if you could fog a mirror, you could get credit, because this is before the
the crash.
Yeah, before the crash. But even still, there was only so much credit you could get when you're a self-employed person. And I just remember having this realization that I'm broke, I'm done. I'm not going to be able to do it.
Not only that, but your income source is dried up.
Yeah, and
Wow.
and so I'm thinking, I was sitting at a bar at the Hilton Anatole in Dallas, Texas, by myself, and drinking. I remember thinking, I'm either going to figure out how to fix this before I leave, or I'm going to leave, go to bed, and go back and start applying for jobs, which would be weird for me because I never really had one of those.
So you were literally at the crossroads. This is crunch time.
Yeah, it was done. And I remember a conversation I had with a buddy of mine. We were talking about, isn't it interesting how so many great business ideas were written on the back of a napkin, right? You think about the story of Southwest Airlines and, drawing the triangle between Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, let's just do that. And so many, there were companies in the late 2000s that were getting funded by their idea on a napkin. And I don't know why, just in that moment, that conversation popped into my head. And I looked up, and right there kind of in front of me on the bar was a stack of cocktail napkins. And so I grabbed it, I borrowed a pen from the bartender, and I said, I told myself, if I can describe how my business actually makes money on this napkin, then I'm going to give it another go. If I can't, then it's too complicated, I don't actually know what I'm doing. And what I drew out on the napkin, I said, well, I need to generate traffic, and that traffic needs to come into a landing page where I, get a lead. And then once somebody opts in, I need to make a small offer. What back then we called a self-liquidating offer, term I heard from Dan Kennedy, what was later, retermed a tripwire by Perry, or an entry point offer. So I'm going to lead magnet to tripwire, and then I'm immediately going to offer them something else. And if they don't buy any of these things, I'm going to put them in a follow-up series and try to bring them back over here. And what I drew out on that napkin was a basic funnel, a very basic marketing funnel. And I remember looking at it and going, that's it.
That's simple.
That's it. I need to get back to doing what I was doing from the get-go, all the way back in 1999, where what if I had 100 of these things? What if I just cranked out one simple thing? I let my business get way too complicated. I moved in 15 different directions. There was no consistency across any of them, no standardization, no process. Every one of them was completely different. And I realized I had made it too complex. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at the businesses at the properties I own that are actually making money. And I just shut down all but about 6 of them. And I said, I'm going to execute this on just those 6, and I'm just going to start making money. And that's what I did. And so I had this napkin. I literally had it framed, and I just kept referring back to it. And that year, I went from almost broke to generating $1 million in revenue from those 6 sites.
Wow.
So I call that kind of my $1 million napkin.
Yeah.
In telling that story to other people and kind of evolving it over the years, it's now a similar version, what we now call the customer value journey, is sort of the new napkin. It's just gotten a little bit bigger. but it's still on one page.
Yeah, yep.
But I still tell people, if you cannot articulate how your company creates customers from scratch, like if that is the single most important question that every business must answer, how do we generate customers from scratch?
Yep.
And if you cannot articulate that and visualize that on a single sheet of paper, it's too complicated and you're not going to be able to grow. And so, started with a napkin, became the one-page marketing plan, the customer value journey, and we still apply that same methodology to every single business we go into now.
Today.
Yeah.
All off that one napkin from that one bar in Dallas.
And that napkin is still framed in my office.
I love that.
The ink is fading. Maybe by the time it fades completely, the lesson will be fully established. Because if I look back on every screw up that I have in business that's really significant, since then, it's when I deviated from the napkin.
Deviated from the napkin. Isn't that crazy? Wow. That's great. And so that was basically the funnel.
Yeah.
The creation of the funnel.
Yeah, well, I mean, look.
And converting.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend like I invented the funnel.
Right.
Like that had been out there for a while. But yeah, the concept of the 5-step funnel, like a lead magnet into a tripwire, into a core offer, into a profit maximizer with a return path if somebody falls out of it. The early seeds of that were on that napkin.
That's great.
To listen to this full Founders Club interview, go to foundersclub.tv.